Didn't realize I would need to be marking there. I know which trial. Well, I guess chapter 7 flew by, didn't it? As a result, Ghost Trick on the DS has retained its value. You checked price charting last night. Bat and Kaitos went down, naturally, but Ghost Trick is high as ever. Really? Really? Yeah, I don't remember what I paid for Bat and Kaitos. Let me see if I can find out. Just real quick. Bat and Kaitos. Did I not write this down somewhere? It must have been a little while ago. There it is. I paid $67.89, counting all the taxes and shipping and stuff. I bet you that compilation is gonna come out for like $40, $50, even $60. It's 2 games. Sure, I paid a lot for Ghost Trick. Yeah, let's see how much I paid for Ghost Trick. Pretty sure it was like 100. Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, I don't have a Ghost Trick labeled in my whatchamacallit. It's finally starting the last witch trial. The witch's court will no longer serve any purpose once the great witch Bazella is burned. Ghost Trick I paid $94.99 for. But it was the cartridge only. And that does not include any taxes and whatnot. I bought all these games separately, so stuff and stuff. Or I bought all of them in like in a thingamabobber. But yeah, it was pricey. Boo. Spella isn't Bazella. I'm not buying it one bit. I mean, the storyteller is her father. I don't know what happened between them, but a father would never do that to his child. I think you're right, Maya. But no one else does. They're all throwing accusations at her. I just feel so sorry for Spella. Feels like this whole case is under some kind of bad spell. A spell? Yeah, we just can't see it yet. That's why it's so vital that we expose the real witch behind all this. And we've got to do it during this trial. I believe in you, Nick. Oh, by the way. Yeah? What are you going to do during this trial? I mean, if you were thinking about watching. What? You mean you don't want me to be by your side? I didn't take you for such a cold-hearted guy, Nick. Not what I mean. Let me finish before you start jumping to conclusions. What I was going to say is you can't let people see you. You're supposed to be, dead. You were cast into the flames, remember? They're finally making mention of this. This is very important. Ah, right, that. You mean after I was on trial for the murder of Sir Top Hat. Don't underestimate me, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? I've already got it covered. Check it out. I brought this with me. With this masterful disguise, I shall be transformed into Maya the Ironclad. Found it in Barnham's room, and I figured I'd borrow it for a while. Don't tell me you're going to the trial wearing that helmet. I sure am. Can't be Maya the Ironclad without being clad in some iron. Let's just hope Barnham doesn't flip out if he sees you wearing his trusty headgear. Anyway, I'm going to do what I can to help. I've got to save a Spella, right? We will. Come on, let's get going. Time to break whatever bad spell a spell is under and put an end to these witch trials once and for all. Right. You're okay with that, aren't you, Isabella? Set that up quick.
There's a ton of people out there, Nick.
Let's do this. Come on.
I mean, she's not guilty, so no problem there.
Now, as scheduled.
Well, if you're talking about Maya, there's definitely a problem there. You know, yeah, she was found not guilty of being a witch, but she also died in the eyes of everyone. And if she just shows up, you know, during this trial, they're going to think that she's a witch because she's alive again or something like that. Speaking of which, what happened to Jean Grey Earl? You think she's still in the dungeon just chilling there, waiting to be sentenced to something new? Or is she gonna pop up during this trial and be like, that's impossible. I have the alchemical records to prove it.
The trial of Espella Cantabella shall commence forthwith. Knights of the court, are you ready now to cross your swords of justice?
Wouldn't that make a point about the system being screwed and something not being right if she showed up? You guess you thought too reasonably. Yeah, see, you're missing. I mean, if you want someone fall to their death and they showed up a couple days later and they're like, yeah, what's up? You'd probably be thinking some interesting things, especially if they had, you know, no burn scars, if they were burned alive. I always thought it was weird. You know, this game's probably like, what, rated E for everyone, maybe T for teen at the most, but T for teen is probably not it. There's no screaming when people are burned alive. And if you're being burned alive, you are definitely going to be screaming. That stuff is painful.
The Knights of the Inquisition have spent countless years trying to track down the elusive Great Witch. The secret of her identity shall finally be brought to light in this very court. All those present, pay attention so that the truth may be burned into your memory. Today, the legend of the Great Witch shall become a closed chapter in the history of Labyrinthia.
You could cut the atmosphere with a knife.
That would be very bad for everybody living that rely on the atmosphere. So everybody stow away your knives and your sharp, pointy objects.
It's so loaded, but at the same time, oddly subdued.
And now, the whole truth shall be revealed to all. The moon, eye of the night, shall bear witness to that. Don't you agree, Defender?
Pretender, you toil with forces beyond your ken. No more.
Your Honor, the defense is ready.
How regrettable. I see you won't allow yourself to be provoked.
Also, you know, nobody's making any notice about how, or any hubbub about Phoenix, you know, attacking knights during the last witch trial, which Maya was, you know, burned alive and died. You know, they were chasing after her, or him, and now they're not. You know, they're just allowing him to do this. Inquisitor Barnham has no play in the game anymore. Arrest this sucker. You may now begin your opening statement, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Thank you. People of Labyrinthia, the story has ended. Its end has been sealed through the storyteller's death. The one who put an end to the life of the storyteller and to the story which governed our lives was the great witch Bazella, a foul embodiment of evil who has long been lurking among us, concealed deep within the consciousness of a certain girl. I'm sure you are all aware of her name. I refer, of course, to Espella Cantabella. Oh, the Gato is there. Now that is suspicious. That is giga suspicious. Today at dusk, a tragedy unfolded right in front of us all. A giant fire dragon descended into the town square, devouring the storyteller. It was a nightmarish vision that we shall never be able to forget. That fearsome fire beast, of which we had only heard tell through legend, returned at the hand of the Great Witch. Indeed, it was just as in the illustrations of the legendary fire. And the girl within whose heart lies the Great Witch herself has committed her final most heinous crime. The crime of patricide. May this trial serve as an offering to the storyteller who can be with us no longer. You don't think the game is ending today? The game is 100% not ending today. Like I said before, these trials have been taking like 5 hours, and we still had to get to this trial. So we're just now getting to it an hour and 30 minutes into the stream today. So we'll probably get to the halfway point of this trial today and call it quits. And then on Monday, we'll probably do half of Layton's tower climb, and then it'll swap us back to the trial. Maybe we can fit in the second half of the trial, and then it'll swap us. Maybe then we'll swap over back to Layton on Tuesday, and maybe Tuesday will be the final day, from the looks of things. Thank you, High Inquisitor. The Inquisition may now begin proceedings. As I have said, this unthinkable crime took place in the town square within plain sight of all Labyrinthians. Everyone is a witness. Surely, there can be no need for a formal interrogation. You can't say that. Suggest you mind your temper, Defender. In a few moments, you will have no option but to accept the truth. Once we hear it from the very mouth of the accused. From Espella. The High Inquisition hereby demands that the accused, Espella Cantabella, testify about her crime. Or rather, that she confess to it. The Inquisition's request shall be granted. Bring Espella Cantabella down to the witness stand. This is it, the last trial. In all likelihood, Espella will admit to the charges. I have only one chance to break whatever spell she's under. When she testifies, there are bound to be some clues to the truth in there. I feel like they would end with the trial because they began with puzzles, and doing puzzles at the end would be lame. This is how I anticipate this going. We do the first half of the trial, and we're like, okay, we need some help, but we've got it to where we can we can work on a second half. Then we swap over to Layton. We do... I would anticipate half of the tower, but it's possible that you could do the entire tower, but do half of the tower. I have a sneeze coming up. Do half of the tower, then you swap back over to the trial. You do the trial to completion. You fail the second half of the trial, and then Layton. Then you swap over to Layton, maybe, and you do the rest of the tower. You get that crucial piece of evidence. Layton kicks open the door, and he's like, well, what about this? And then, you know, the trial comes to an end, and Darklaw is like, no. And, you know, then we get the end of the game. I suppose the trial ending, so maybe though, like right before Espella is convicted or sentenced or whatever you want to say, it like fades to black, and then it goes to Professor Layton. That is my prediction. Now that you're here, witness, state your name and tell us your real name as well.
My name is Espella Cantabella, but I have another name too, Bazella.
Order in the court. And you really admit that you are the Great Witch. You openly concede that you are Bazella herself that caused all the evil and destruction. Yes. I knew it. We're done. She's Bazella. How terrifying. I mean, she killed her own father. How dare she kill our beloved storyteller? We don't want a trial. We want to see her burn. The Inquisition was right. The accused herself has spoken. It would seem there is no need for an interrogation. I assure you, there is none. The only possible verdict has been clear to everyone from the very beginning.
Hold it!
Let's hear Espella's, the accused side of the story. Magic exists in this world, right? So if you think about it, Espella could be under the influence of a spell, too. What I would like to know is this. Just who in the world are you, young knight? Oh, me? How to put it, I feel as if we've met somewhere before. Where was it again? We haven't. It's just your imagination, Your Honor. I mean, my lord. As for who I am, I'm with Sir Blue Knight. Not in a romantic way, of course. Is this a friend of yours, Defender? Yes. Don't comment on the helmet, please. She really wouldn't like to have her face seen. How can I put this gently? It's not something you'd want to look at. What are you talking about? Make it sound like there's a problem with my face. I can assure you we have no interest in your face, miss. Although I do wonder where you acquired that particular helm. Why is that? A helm of that ilk is not something you can simply purchase from a street stall. Well, I found it in the forest. Finders keepers, you know. What are you doing, Maya? You promised me you wouldn't draw any attention. Sorry, Nick, I lost it a bit. Well, anyway, the defense's opinion is as follows. We should hear the defendant's testimony before coming to a verdict. There may be some things even she isn't aware of. How amusing. As this is to be the last witch trial ever held, perhaps it is only fitting that we cross swords before you accept your defeat. Don't you mean cross claws? I agree. Thus, the accused herself will now testify. Miss Cantabella, tell the court of your involvement in this incident. I guess the cat is like an extension of herself. It could be. So this is the second time that Darklaw and the cat have been in a scenario where you can't say that the cat is Darklaw and Darklaw is the cat. Amalia. Maybe Darklaw is the cat, but she can also create a familiar that is the cat. Could be one or both, or, well, it has to be one or the other for those. or both. I finally realized that Bazella has been lying dormant within me. What? Oh, your eyes are... you're back to normal. Once evening fell and the rain ceased, I climbed up the wooden stairs of that bell tower and awaited the parade. I waited for my father's speech to end, and then I summoned the fire dragon. I don't know why I killed my father. That was a very unusual testimony. When you used magic against your father, were you doing so as a Spella Cantabella or as the Great Witch Bazella? A most fascinating query, however. It matters not. The Inquisition has ingeniously solved the query by disregarding it. What matters is that Bazella exists within this girl. Being a witch is a crime. Such a fundamental rule will always hold. And this girl here is not just any witch. She is the Great Witch. Bella has admitted the charges, just as I suspected. Just have to hope I can find some contradictions in her testimony. If I don't, we can kiss this trial goodbye. Just let her die, man. Can we move, end the game? Roll them credits! The defense may begin the interrogation. Defender, steady your sword of justice. Should I see it waver, or point in the wrong direction, I will not hesitate to cut down your arguments and end this interrogation. You had better keep that in mind. Cross-examination. I now realized that Bazella had been lying dormant within me.
Hold it!
Prove it. You say you finally realized. Yes, I've always had a feeling, but my memory is rather hazy. I've always felt as though I'm not who I think I am, and that I've forgotten something very important. Incidentally, when did you become aware of Bazella's presence within you? It was when I went to the Great Archive with Mr. Layton and Luke. Ever since I saw the mural depicting Bazella, I started having strange flashbacks. I saw things from the distant past, memories of the legendary fire. Legendary fire? I saw it. I was there when it happened. I saw the town consumed by flames. It couldn't have. That's impossible. Legendary fire occurred over 100 years ago, and there were no survivors. Yes, I know that. But it's true. I remember it happening. Because I'm Bazella. Once evening fell and the rain ceased, I climbed up the wooden stairs and the tower and the parade, waited the parade. Where were you before that? We were looking for you. I'm not sure. When I came to, I was in the town. It was pouring, so I wanted to go to Aunt Patty's bakery and wait for it to stop. But I couldn't face her, so I just went to the forest instead. Well, you were in the forest until the incident. Couldn't find you, though. The rain finally stopped, and the time came. I made my way over to the town square. I was feeling strange, as if I wasn't myself. Then I noticed I was up the bell tower looking down at the square. Bella's not a witch, and that means it's got to be something strange about this statement. Witness, continue your testimony. Yes, my lord. I waited for my father's speech to end, and then I summoned the fire dragon.
Hold it!
You summoned the fire dragon with that spell Grandworm, right? Yes, that's the one. Although I won't say it now, I'm sure something terrible would happen if I did. That's fine, absolutely fine. No need to prove that statement. In fact, the court forbids you to prove it. Of course, I won't say it. Come on, this is supposed to be the Great Witch. Look at her, there's no way Ispella's a witch. Must be like you said, Nick. Someone cast an evil spell on her. Something in this testimony keeps nagging at me, that's for sure. Need to figure out what. I don't know why I killed my father.
Hold it!
And maybe because you didn't kill him.
Objection!
It's useless, defender. Witness, who killed the storyteller? It was me. I summoned the fire dragon. I killed him. Storyteller chose his own death. That is a fact that cannot be changed. It is common knowledge that all things written in the story will become a reality. And Bazella's appearance has been written into the story's final chapter. She has no choice but to act out the role that has been written for her. In other words, everything happens in accordance with the storyteller's story. Except all the things that, we busted up. Nick, have you noticed how weird Ispella is acting today? Sure have. It's almost like she's a puppet. Who's pulling the strings? Eve. Nick, look. Check it out. It's Eve. She must be here to root for Ispella. I don't think a cat's emotional support is going to help us all that much. Well, this is an unexpected intrusion. But as we're in the middle of an interrogation, I will ask the witness to carry on with her testimony. Yes, my lord. I finally realize that Bazella has been lying dormant within me. Okay. I think we'll start off with that. Interesting that Darklaw is here. Has Barnham ever been a person that we could click on for a trial like this? I don't think he has. Has he? Very, very, I mean, I guess they already outed Darklaw as being the Great Witch, but, throwing that out there. Okay, we're going to present this.
Objection!
Even Darklaw was surprised at the cat meowing. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that, I've been right, but I've been wrong this entire time. I've been saying that Darklaw is the Great Witch, and the Great Witch is the cat. And Darklaw is the cat. But, and then I went with the familiar transformation thing. But it's entirely possible that there's a separation there. And instead, the Great Witch is the cat, and Darklaw is... I mean, how do you not... How does Darklaw not be a witch, though? It just doesn't make any sense. It's possible there's a thread that I'm missing that connects Darklaw to the cat somehow, or what have you. But obviously, we've already established that Darklaw is giga suspicious and the cat is giga suspicious. But yeah. Anyways. Vigilantes were guarding the bell tower all day. Is that the Vigilantes' report? Indeed, and according to this, Vigilantes have been consistently guarding the entrance to the bell tower ever since it appeared. However, there is nothing about Espella going up the tower in their report.
Objection!
Your memory must have failed you. That girl is a witch, the Great Witch at that. It's only natural to assume that she used something akin to invisibility magic. Isn't that so, witness? Yes, I used an invisibility spell to enter the tower unnoticed.
Objection!
Even magic follows certain rules in this world. Witches need to be holding a talia magica in order to use magic. And you weren't in possession of one at that time.
Objection!
How horrifying your ignorance is. Excuse me? Did you honestly think the difference between a regular witch and the Great Witch was in name alone? The Great Witch, unlike other witches, can command any magic she desires without the use of a witch's scepter.
Objection!
That's news to me. Every labyrinthian should have known about that. A witch's scepter can only hold 2 magic gems at once. Whoever heard of a great witch that could only use 2 spells? Order. In any case, this should convince you that the accused entered the tower. This is a sketch showing footprints. It was raining before the parade reached the town square. Obviously, if you walk through muddy streets before climbing up a staircase, you will inevitably leave footprints on the steps. This sketch shows that there were indeed muddy footprints present in the bell tower stairs. Those don't look like muddy footprints to me. And since you'd no doubt be quick to ask, I can tell you that they match the sole of the accused's shoes. It's certain that the accused climbed up the bell tower after the rain had fallen. Good morning, Mr. JRPG. Very well, the court accepts this sketch as evidence. Just, hey. See these stairs? I need you to draw these stairs. But when you do draw them, okay, I need some footprints, like leading up them. Can you make that happen for me? Thank you. I almost pity you, Defender. The evidence you threw in our faces with such verve. Verve. I've never seen the word verve before. Was sadly useless. Indeed, it would seem there were no problems with that testimony after all. Let us not waste time. You could carry on with the interrogation. That is, if the defender hasn't run out of ideas yet. Judge seems ready to announce the verdict any second now. I've got to find a flaw in her testimony and fast. I need a solid lead in this case. Do I double down on this? Oh. Summons forth a great fire dragon for the caster to command, responsible for the legendary fire that lit the town ablaze. I feel I'm gonna use a hint coin on this because, well, I find out those contradictions and fast. Heck, we can't let it end yet. Look, Eve even showed up to reinforce Eve, right? The black cat. Wait, the Great Witch always has a black cat by her side, huh? You know, if Bazella is always accompanied by a cat, then she should have had it with her when the incident happened, right? And that she mentions it. I think I saw a black cat at the bell tower when it happened. I think I might be onto something. A witch with a trusty black cat, huh? This is news to me. The Great Witch always has a black cat? So my idea here was to use the sketch to further along the thing, because the sketch doesn't show muddy footprints, even if the description says it's muddy footprints. I don't like this. Feel like it's wrong. I should use a hint coin.
Objection!
I should have used a hint coin. I'm gonna use a hint coin. Got 148 of these suckers. Oh, I have to press.
Hold it!
Oh, now the cat? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? You say you finally... I had already pressed. Oh my gosh. So you finally realized. Yes, I've always had a feeling. My memory's rather hazy. Always found blah blah blah. Suddenly, when did you become aware? Those are the Great Archive. And the mural. All things like legendary fire. Gato? Legendary fire. Oh, maybe when she mentions 100 years old. I was observing.
Hold it!
I did not see anything with the Gato. Is there anyone suspicious? I mean, do I just... Can I just do it at any point during her testimony here? All right, I'll give it a shot. There's really no harm in doing this, I guess.
Hang on!
I have a question for you, Eve. Eve, what on earth are you doing, Defender? Well, I was just... Eve is Ispella's friend, so I was wondering if she might want to have some input. Whether or not this furry little witness can contribute to the testimony seems to be obvious at a glance. That's so, I guess questioning a cat wasn't the best idea. Where's Luke when you need him? You wish to say something, High Inquisitor Darklaw? I just remembered a line from a fairy tale that I heard when I was little, a fairy tale about Bazella. The great witch Bazella is always accompanied by a black cat. Or so it claimed. It would seem there was a grain of truth in that fairy tale after all. That's true, Eve always follows me. Always. Oh, Nick, that means... must have been together when the incident happened too. Now that she mentions it... I think I saw a black cat at the bell tower when it happened. Oh yes, Eve was with me. In the bell tower. Your Honor. Yes, Defender? The defense requests that Miss Cantabella's comment be added to the testimony. Very well. Request granted. Witness, add what you just said about the cat to your testimony. Yes, my lord. Here's a thing that I have always had a problem with. Well, me having only played one Phoenix Wright game, is that I make the jump of where I need to go for the trial quicker than the game does. And so when I saw the cat at the top of the tower during the cutscene, I knew the cat was there. So when they handed me the sketch of the footprints, it's like, okay, I need to present the sketch because there's no cat footprints there. Like that idea crossed my mind, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to present the sketch. But like, you have to go down a linear path to get there first. And if I start at like point 1 and they hand over a piece of evidence, I'm like, okay, the next logical step is point 2, but in actuality, I'm at point like 6 or 7, and they want me to do, like a bunch of other things in between, and that always it always gets me, I guess, into trouble with this game, because I'm thinking on a much faster. What's the better way to put it? It's like it's. I don't know the best way to put it. I wouldn't say it's very slow paced, Mana Dryad. I would just say that like they want you to take a very specific path, and I don't know the best way to put it, honestly. I can't think of the right words, but this is just something that I always struggle with these court cases. Like I said, it could be a me thing, but sometimes I wish I could present a piece of evidence and then link all, like, if they say, like, this doesn't make any sense, I can then take all the information that I have available and link it to that so that I can skip all of those prior steps that the game actually wanted me to take. Because, like, I didn't need to press her to add this to the testimony. It wasn't necessary. You would assume most people have the same issue. Well, they might make a big point of every single detail, when in reality, you could just summarize all that. Talking it to death because you know filler. Yeah. It's like for example, the cat was on fire. That's suspicious. We know the cat was up there. That's suspicious. She was wearing a necklace that was on fire. That's suspicious. Like, we have all this information. And I wish we could just kind of like skip ahead and be like, okay, talk to me about this. But anyways.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Espella. There's a problem with that statement. Problem. You went up the bell tower in the evening after it stopped raining, correct? Yes, I think so, after all. There's proof to that, my footprints left on the stairs. That's right, there were footprints on the steps. However, there's something missing in this sketch. Missing? What do you mean, Defender? There are no paw prints of Espella's cat, Eve. Oh. You said Eve was following you, right? In which case, naturally, there would have to be cat paw prints on the stairs as well.
Objection!
And here I thought you would say something that makes sense. Such a silly assertion, as that can be easily explained. The cat must have climbed up on the accused's shoulders. Was that not the case, witness? Yes, Eve was on my shoulders, I think. She dislikes dirt, so when it's muddy, she tends to climb up on my shoulders.
Objection!
Then why didn't you say that before? You testified that the cat was following you.
Objection!
This is such a trifling matter, Defender. You would do well to just let it go.
Objection!
Might seem that way to you, but it has important implications. It shows that Espella's testimony is unreliable. What? What do you mean? For a while now, Espella hasn't been testifying in her own words. All the vital parts of her testimony have come from High Inquisitor Darklaw. She made Espella say those things.
Objection!
The heck? These are some accusations. Are you claiming that I, the High Inquisitor, am responsible for making the accused commit perjury? Well, if that's not the case, then there's one more possibility. Namely that the witness, Miss Cantabella, has no clear recollection of what happened this evening. What? Are you saying the witness has no memory of the incident? Espella, do you actually remember what happened? Do you remember entering the bell tower and summoning the fire dragon? Yes. You say you also remember the legendary fire which burned this town to the ground. Yes, I do. Even though it was a long time ago. And you remember tonight's events just as clearly. Do you truly remember summoning that terrifying fire dragon and killing your own father? Oi? I don't know what happened. I'm Bazella, am I not? I can remember it, the legendary fire, so then why? Why can't I remember anything about what happened tonight? Your Honor, the defendant is confused and cannot remember what happened. Therefore, her confession that she is the Great Witch is not credible.
Objection!
What are you talking about, Defender? She admits that she's Bazella.
Objection!
Her testimony doesn't hold together. I am more than one person. Who is the other one within me? Speller. Court attendants, carry the accused to the emergency care room. See, here's the great leap in logic here. You know, jumping from one to the finale. If Espella is the Great Witch, why is she putting herself on trial? Why doesn't she just bippity boppity boo and then, you know, she's out the door? A brief summary of the accused's current situation. Spella Cantabella became extremely agitated during the interrogation and proceeded to lose consciousness. She remained unconscious, although her life is not in danger. Until the verdict, at least. Well, that's a relief. You had me pretty worried there. Nick, I don't mean to sound insensitive or anything, but this is just what we needed. Not sure I follow. The professor is out looking for clues to help us out, right? That means all we've got to do is buy some more time until he returns with his findings. Maya's right. That's just what we're going to do. Your Honor, it's impossible to continue the trial while the defendant isn't present. And also, it's possible that someone at the crime scene was manipulating the defendant. The defense proposes an intermission in order to carry out further investigation. What is your opinion on this, High Inquisitor Darklaw? My opinion is that the defender is just playing for time. It's all right through my plan. However, I shall allow it. As long, of course, as the townsfolk who have gathered here have no objections. Very well, then. Oh.
Hold it!
That went quick. Is that Barnham? Oh.
You, defender, stop messing around! What he said! What he said! You can't squirm your way out of this! What he said! What he said! 'Cause we know everything! What he said! What he said! We will reveal your wrongdoings to everyone gathered here! We shall do this!
Order, order. If anyone here should be silenced, it is not us, but that defender over there. Huh? And who are you? You ask who we are. We are the ones who watch the bell tower, guard the bell tower, and take cover from rain in the bell tower. We are the bell tower guards, known as the Vigilantes, and I am their captain. Alright, that guy showed up at the crime scene when we were trying to investigate it. You there, you defender. Yes? What was it you said earlier while taking advantage of all the confusion, like the rascal you are? You said someone at the crime scene may have been manipulating the accused. We vigilantes were at the crime scene. Are you suggesting we were manipulating that witch? No, that totally is not it. Don't think you can silence us like that. We shall have our say now. We sure will, no matter what anyone else has to say about it. We are the Vigilantes, dutiful and righteous, superior, happy, fulfilled on the job. Our passion is burning and our blood is red. If you fail to let us speak out, then we will have no choice but to turn to violence. I disapprove of violence, the burning of witches being a necessary exception, naturally. In which case, it's best to just let them have their say. Huh? You may not know this, but it's not unusual for the accused to fall unconscious in this court. No kidding. Let us lend our ears to these brave knights. We shall hear what they witnessed. Very well, these knights will be accepted as witnesses. They may testify. People of Labyrinthia, did you hear the word of the judge? Today's trial is not over yet. In fact, it is just beginning. Ooh. Now, Vigilante Captain Boystrom, you may testify to your heart's content. Lady Darklaw, thank you for this honor. I will talk to my heart's content. You can be sure of that. Oh joy. Much for buying some time.